We return. So on reload here, we've actually ended up back at the start of the East Sluice Control. I love that word sluice. There's an especially good Simpsons joke about a slaughterhouse sluice floor and like a killing floor for the slaughtering of animals. That word always makes me think of. Welcome back. We're on part 7. I can't believe it. That means that we've been what? Watching this series for a whole week already. I mean, all I've been doing on my end is playing this, producing the videos, and watching Takeshi's Castle, which I haven't seen for years, but I've realized as an adult, I actually really enjoy. I don't know why. I liked it when I was younger too, but I don't remember it being as good as it is. You guys should definitely check it out. I think Americans know it as Wipeout, by the way. But yeah, I also feel very strongly that the honeycomb maze round on that is way too small. They need to make that bigger. Damn it. Cool, what a job. If that's not your dream job, designing rounds for the Takeshi's Castle, I don't know why it isn't. All right, so some gear changes. I'm going to give Fran here the light woven shirt because she's using a lot of magic. We're going to sort of have her a little bit more magically inclined. She does have a short bow plus onion arrows. So onion arrows are the name of the original ammunition here. But I kind of want to keep her a little bit more magic focused. So this will give her just that bit more MP. She can't equip the Firefly. Right, or maybe she can actually. Hold on. She's got 36 points. So accessories 1, it's accessories 2. So 1 costs 5. There you go. And accessories 2, the Firefly, gives us that accessory. And you'll see now that's unlocked access to accessories 3. And then we would get a Gambit slot after that if we want. And so on and so on and so on. And she can actually learn the skill Poach all the way over here, which is nice. So, yes, there's that. These two, probably we don't need to change anything. But yeah, I gave Vaughn that chromed leather that we had bought from the bazaar. And what did we do with Balthier just a second ago? You saw me while I was talking about the game show. Right, so Firefly. Her spells will now not be affected by any kind of weather. Not that there's anything here. And that means she won't get the benefits or the downsides for what it's worth. But the extra MP is what I'm really interested in. You'll notice here she's got 71, but her max is now 128. That is much better. If I could have done that at the first little bit of this sewer, then that would have been perfect. Right, so let's go on back down and trigger the cutscene again.
Now we have it.
Getting away. Who would be next?
Close ranks, bring her down.
So she seems like a high priority target.
Jump down.
I kind of hate this.
Hurry.
Vaughn catching her. She is very cool and capable, and they do this. I don't know, man. I mean, really, does he have to catch her? I do like the way her model is like animated and stuff.
Our ranks grow by the hour.
And our troubles with them.
It looks like he really is clutching her there. You know, like he's not like clipping into her or whatever. Right, so this fight, it's going to be a little bit like with Barsha at our side when we were playing as Rex. Two characters long gone now, but you know how Barsh was a lot stronger? Well, this question mark person is really going to be doing the majority of the damage. So I kind of just want to protect them. I'm going to keep Fran back. Fran using Blizzard is going to be really nice as well. It's also well worthwhile stealing here. So I'm actually going to manually command both Vaughn and Balthier to steal. So Vaughn will go to steal from target A. And Balthier will go to target B. While Fran, before she goes with that Blizzard, is going to throw a Libra mote so that we can actually see what their health and stuff is. Okay, so that's all pretty good. Now, if we watch question mark, they will actually throw motes in the vanilla game. They throw dark motes. Do you remember that mysterious arcane magic that creepy dude was selling up at the Nalbina Fortress? Well, she can use those, which is pretty cool. So let's see. These swordsmen have protect on them. That means that he is defended from physical damage. I think that he has a 50% chance to spawn with that. And it looks like we rolled lucky on 3 of them and unlucky on that guy. So we probably want to avoid B. They're all the same health. So let's just see what we get. So we can steal some potions. Pretty nice. Don't forget Balthier can use those to decent effect. Get another potion from that swordsman. And yeah, we'll just stand back and get the... So there you go. You see that blind just landed? Oh no, that was Vaughn. That wasn't question mark. But question mark, can cast magic that will blind sometimes. Looks like they're mostly attacking with their sword right now. Let's keep an eye on them over there. They're hitting okay. They're not taking much damage, though, which is pretty good. Let's just keep moving back. I like this. Our characters are very specialized here, so this should not be a problem. We've done pretty much everything that I would recommend a person can do to make this fight just as smooth as possible. And look, we're getting so much AoE damage. It's pretty nice. This guy is at 300. This guy's at 200. 200 again. As long as everyone stays healthy. I don't want people getting too low health because it will stop Fran from using Blizzard and she'll cancel to go for Cure. And so when one Gambit overwrites another, they do stop immediately. So like she's halfway through Blizzard, she would just stop. There you go, they're dead. Nice. And you kind of waste time if you're cancel casting. That's what I'm trying to get at.
You all right?
Thank you.
I'm Vaughn. And this is Balthier, and hey! What's your name?
Amalia.
Amalia, huh? Nice to meet you.
There were others with me. I'm sorry. No.
Huh?
Oh, now isn't that impressive?
Don't get any ideas. I said it's mine.
I'm afraid the jury's still out on that one.
You stole that?
Yeah.
Have you finished? When the guards don't report in, they'll come looking for us.
If they aren't already.
You should come with us. Better than being by yourself.
Very well.
What's wrong with her?
You have a lot to learn before we even get started on your thievery.
What's that mean?
Right, okay. So, I think this is the first time this really happens. Vaughn is pretty stupid, okay? She's like, you stole that, clearly offended that someone might have stolen from the palace. And he's like, yeah, it was awesome. I've known way too many people in real life exactly like Vaughn. Maybe even in some ways I'm like Vaughn. So I really enjoy him. It's funny, when you look at like a lot of review and criticism of this game, people hate Vaughn because he's a bit stupid. But look, he's funny. It's comic relief, guys. That's the point. I really enjoy him. And yeah, having someone who's a bit dopey, like to contrast with someone like Balthier, who's obviously a lot older and, you know, has gone through many adventures. It works, you know, and I like seeing Balthier be a bit grated. Also, I have a sincere compliment to this game. Did you see that moment? You can rewind the video where after the yeah comment, Amalia kind of looked away and looked a little bit disgusted. I actually think that the faces, the animations during a lot of cutscenes are really well done in this game. I don't know whether it's just my personal taste or what, but they are often very subtle, but they feel really realistic to me. Like, a lot of this game feels very similar to 10, right? To me. I mean, they were both on the PlayStation 2. You could almost, I would say graphically, they're almost identical. You can feel they are very, very, very similar. But the game's facial animations in this one are so much better. Like, I'm not talking about CGI, obviously. I'm talking about moments like this. And you can read a lot into people's faces on this. You seriously can. And especially when there's, like, sneaky stuff going on in the background. If you know the full story and you're watching along, pay attention to it. Honestly, I get giddy about it all the time. And I won't always be able to mention it because there'll be spoilers and stuff. But yeah, keep an eye on people's faces because I think there's some great stuff there. Anyway, we get a new mechanic here, which is pretty useful.
The situation requires I accept such help as I find, though it be from thieves.
All right.
I shall accompany you until we find my companions. No longer.
Let's think of her as a guest, then. Unlike Fran or myself, our guest probably won't be taking orders from anyone anytime soon, and she'll leave when she pleases. So we keep to our affairs and she to hers. I doubt we'll find her wanting in valor, being such an upstanding member of the insurgents.
Resistance.
Again, that nice little moment. Balthier, as an Arcadian, thinks of them as an insurgent. Or maybe just someone a little bit more separate from everything that's going on here. And yet she is a patriot that believes in what they're doing. So she says it's a resistance. So she is a guest.
Well, what are we waiting for?
It's kind of awkward here. Because to tell you the truth, both Balthea and Fran feel like guests, to be honest. It feels like, why are these two full party members, but she's not? Because, to be honest, these two at the moment, they're just snooping around because of this Magicite, the goddess's Magicite. When we get back out of the sewers, we're all splitting apart. So it's kind of an awkward moment for the game to introduce all of this to us. But here is the idea. If you have a look, we do have Amalia now. But it says she's a guest. We can't select her job. She's not going to join us as a job there. We can't... Oh, we can change her gambits now. We can't change her equipment. That's locked out. And so in the original version of the game in 2006, you couldn't control her either. You could only control these guys. And that's what Balthea meant when he said she won't be taking orders. However, that line kind of doesn't work in new editions of the game. Why? Well, because since IZJS, they made it you can control guests. So we can even control this Amalia chick. Even if she's only going to be with us for 5 minutes, we now get to control her, which I think is really, really nice. And on top of that, too, they unlocked gambits for guests. So you can mess with this as well. And so you can see all the different kind of abilities that she might be using. Turns out she's got nothing except curing and attacking. So the defaults that they've assigned is perfectly fitting. But yeah, we could run around as her if we like. We're spoiled for choice now, guys, aren't we? The other really important thing about guest is we've gone from being solo to 3-man to 4-man. A guest is always on screen with you. So we've got 4 people running around with us. In truth, the party cap is only 3 people. But it's 3 party members plus a guest. And then you're all right. So that is what's going on there. Now, with that little fight dealt with, I always end up defaulting back to Vaan. I don't have to do this. You do have to play Vaan in cities and towns. Unless you mod it. I mean, I didn't choose to do that because I didn't feel vanilla enough to me. But you could if you really want. You can even mod it so you have the whole party running around with you. Again, one of the talented creations of the community. But yeah, so with that little encounter done, we are actually now moving into a boss fight. And what I'm going to do is I want you guys to know that the version of the game I'm playing, as I've set it up, bosses are really dangerous. They're very exciting, they're very fun, and they can and will win regularly. And I want to show you that. So we're just going to go into this boss blind, and I'll do my best, but we will see what happens, okay? And oh great, they're flans. I like the shiny animation on their head. Okay. So, if we just roll this through here. Now, basically, I'm going to lose this. That's my assumption here. So, you notice we've got a small one, 2 sort of medium-sized ones, plus a big one here. And as we run through, Balthea's attacking with his gun. Now, I did tell you before... So, Amalia's already dead. I did tell you before that guns are bad against flans. So whenever he shoots, you see he does 8 damage. That's naff, guys. That's really bad. Vaan is dead, so let's Phoenix down. We do have 7 of them. So we'll get Balthea to... Oh, and now Fran's dead. So hold on. We can do this. Vaan, pull back very slightly. Balthea is on his item aftercast at the moment, but Vaan is not. So Vaan can Phoenix down. And now Balthea can... Amalia can Phoenix down, and everyone's back up. So we can try again, but we're obviously all really weak, and these guys are relentless. They are blind, so Vaan's done very well with the blind. I really like that. That's going to help us a lot. We're back up. 2 more Phoenix downs. You can see we're running out of our whole stock here. Now, I've been very careful the whole way through the game to hold on to them, so we're kind of trying to graveyard rush right now, which is not a valid strategy, as I'm showing you here. We've just spent a ton of money. Let's say we won this, but with only a couple of Phoenix downs left. We're screwed. And finally, we can try to blind this last guy. There you go. They're all blind. Yay! So look, Vaan can survive, guys. We're dead. All right. So, the flan fight. Tricky. And I feel like the most fun way to play these games is there should always be like an exciting boss fight coming up that we have to be prepared for so that all the jobs and all the other stuff we do matters as we play the game, right? I don't want this all to be like hollow commentary, and it's not. Believe me, what I'm talking about matters. So here's how we beat this. First of all, you should know that there is a chest hidden right before the boss fight. And it's over here. And we have 2 goals here with the Rhyme Fang in it, which isn't too good. We have 2 goals here. 1 is to win, 2 is actually to steal as well. So, if we have a look at our party, Balthier can steal, Fran can steal, I guess because they were both pirates or whatever, and Vaan can't. This Amalia lady can't, though. So, what we're going to do is run on in, but open up with a Libra remote, and I'm going to be controlling Fran for the purpose of this fight. So, we will dump a Libra remote. Now, we could go to our jobs and stuff, and we can overgrind, just like in any real... See, I think a JRPG, for it to kind of matter, you need hard moments where you got a choice if you're going to overgrind or whatever. And we could do that to solve this, but it's a puzzle, right? And it's something with its own solution. So here, by the way, you can skip cutscenes. You just press pause and skip. That's actually a big improvement from the previous main series release 10, where you couldn't skip cutscenes. So what we're going to do is look at their health right at the start. So you can see, now that we have Libra up, they are all weak to fire, not Blizzard. So even though there's 4 targets and Blizzard has been efficient as an AoE mechanism up until now, probably not a good idea to keep going with it. You'll also notice, if we watch the damage as it comes in, that the big Flan isn't tankier really than the others. I mean, a little bit, but he actually hits really hard. In fact, he hits a lot harder than the others. So what we're going to do is go to our gambits, and for Fran, instead of having her spam Blizzard, we're going to have her spam Fire. And not on any target, we're going to have it on the lowest HP one, so that everyone's always focused firing stuff down. Then what we're going to do is come back. We're going to trigger steal. So Balthier is already stealing. The question is who he's stealing from. I wonder how we can figure that out. He's stealing from the little one. So that means... And blind... Well, Vaan's almost finished casting blind here. Right, so Fran, we will have steal from... So the little one is B. Fran will have steal from A. Now that Vaan's finished his charge time for blind, we can give him a new command and it won't get interrupted. So we'll get Vaan to steal from C. And watch closely. Balthier stole an Water remote. So a Water remote. I guess the game doesn't really generate that too well. So with the Water remote, remember we got one of those in the cellar earlier? And I said that's really important and good. We'll keep a hold of it. In fact, we can get one from each of these. And Square specifically set this up. So we should do it, all right? So now that Balthier has successfully stolen from B, let's swap him over to the final one, which is D. Now, everyone's stealing, basically, here. Except Amalia, who is actually curing, which is good. Now, Vaan's low. Balthier couldn't steal from D, so we are going to try and get him to do it again. Vaan wants to try again, so Vaan got C. Now, Balthier's almost dead, so we are going to throw a potion on him. In fact, he died there. That's really unfortunate. Okay, so let's potion him up. Now, let's pull Fran away. This is actually getting pretty dicey. We might have to give up with the Water remotes right now. My guys are actually probably a little bit weaker than I was expecting them to be. So, we'll go with Fire on this guy. And we don't have oil or anything. Oh, my God. He managed to combo the hell out of us. Brutal. All right, that's fine. We'll go with another Phoenix down if we can. I mean, we got 2 blinds up here. That's nice. Oh, and by the way, at this moment, you might want to flee. But with a lot of these boss fights, you'll notice that a gate has swung closed behind us. We're actually locked in here with this fight now. A lot of players might not notice or appreciate that, but that is actually what happens a lot of the time. So, right, we've got to get Fran up. Fran is the way we win this, by casting Fire, basically. So, the fact that we got unlucky here with that combo, pretty nasty. So, what I will do is... Balthier is still trying to steal, but the Flan has nothing left to steal. And he's doing that because they're still on 100% health and haven't swapped his gambits. So, what I'm going to do with Balthier now is I'm going to tell him to potion Fran. Now, remember, Balthier potions harder than other people. I'm also going to swap him to stop stealing. And instead, he's going to be on heal duty. Because he only has a gun. So, we will have him heal people up as soon as they get below half health. I'll also swap his weapon to the javelin that we got before. And you'll see that actually gives him a lot more attack power. Now, that's actually a little bit deceptive because guns look like they have low attack power, but they don't need it. Guns just, you know, do lots of good flat damage. But we'll give him the javelin, which is a 2-handed spear, and that means he will actually be able to hurt the Flans a little bit. Now, we are not out of the mud here. So, Fran is now healed up. She's got a good amount of MP. She's going to start casting Fire. And we just need to get a kill here. She's cast that on someone else because the other guy's low. So that guy now only has 200 health, this one. Oh, it's not because he's low, it's because he's the squishiest, and that's what Gambit we had set up. Well, that's fine. We can just let her keep doing that. Varn, instead of attacking, can continue with his his blind spree. So blind actually helped Fran there. Fran will go for another fire in a second here. So good, he's got another blind. Now, we don't need to blind the last one because he's about to die. But I wonder if they're not immune to poison, so we can try that. That would be some good AoE damage for this fight. So there you go. Look, they can all be poisoned as well now. Which means, you know, that probably would have been better to use super early. But here we go. So Fran cancelled fire there, unfortunately, because someone got low and she wanted to cure them. So what I'm going to do is hit this Flan, and then I'm going to move over to... Who is that? That's Balthier is very low. And we're going to pull him back. Now, he's potioned himself, which is good. There's Fran with the fire. That's one of the Flan dead. Now, we are instead going to override... Well, she's halfway through the next cast. I usually do all of this on active, guys. All this pausing is crazy. We're going to do it on the big one now. We're actually going to focus fire the big one if we can. Now, if you notice, we're all blind, but it doesn't matter because blind doesn't affect spell accuracy. It only affects regular accuracy. Now, Varn is down, but I think we can finish the fight without him. He's done his important job of debuffing. Oh, God. Balthier's down. The only problem we've had here is that we will Phoenix down. Let's Phoenix down Balthier because he's got a good amount of health. And then he can instantly potion himself. Actually, maybe we make him potion... Well, hold on. Fran is using Cure. The question is, who's she targeting with that Cure? I bet she's targeting Amalia. I don't think she's targeting Balthier. So Balthier can potion himself. And Fran needs to keep away. Oh my god, she's low. Yeah, she's down. That sucks. It's okay. We'll be close. We've almost got this. We just need to kill the big Flan. That was all we had to do. Right, one more Phoenix down. For Fran here. And here we've got this thing where they're all very low. The blind is excellent, though. It's really keeping us safe. Man, I didn't need to do the demonstration game over. You guys can see that this is very, very difficult anyway. So just pull back. And again, if we bought decoy earlier, we could be doing pretty good. Just need to keep on the offensive. I think that all these interrupts in which we're curing and stuff have not been wise. So one more fire. Good, that missed. And he should be dead. Nice. Right, there's only 2 left. We should have hit equilibrium now. That's more Phoenix Downs than I wanted. We're gonna have a harder time going forwards than I expected. Usually I don't have to Phoenix down here. That's that one dead. So now there's only 1 left. And we should be good. I will leave Varn on the floor because we can just save Crystal in a second. There was one over there, if you remember. We should be fine. And yeah, everyone else is kind of missing a lot. We could throw eye drops if we picked many up. We've picked 5 up, so... Oh, I shouldn't have done that with Fran, really. But there you go. So she can eye drops Balthier, and now Balthier can actually swing at the Flan, and you'll see he does some good damage. Oh, no, he doesn't even do good damage. 5? Really? Are they resistant to spears as well? Maybe it's just because he has very low strength. And there you go. The fight is won. So yeah, that's it. It's really just the trick is you got to use what element they're weak to. And also, while we were at it, we managed to collect some good Watara motes for ourselves. Which, in addition to the one in the sewers, we should have 3 to 5. I think we might have 4. I hope we've got about 4. That would be really nice. If we have less, it's okay. Still doable. So lovely. They ooze back into the waters. Very clean looking. And oh, I bet you were wondering if this appeared in the game. Yes, victory poses, very regular thing in Final Fantasy games. They are here. You get the Final Fantasy victory music. And they do a bit of a flyby. This only happens after specific encounters, though, not the regular ones. Because, again, the whole combat system's pretty different. There's also a billion different poses your characters can do there. Their poses change based on every weapon type in the game, and then there's random selection beyond that. Some of them look really flashy and really cool, some of them less so. It's insane. I wouldn't really know how to display every single one to you guys, but if you're curious, I have to recommend the Final Fantasy wiki, where if you find the page for those, they've put GIFs for every single one in this big grid view, and you can see them all. I mean, it is crazy, honestly. And it's a shame because, honestly, that screen does not appear that regularly in the game. You don't get to see them do victory poses much at all. So, sad stuff. Right, well, if we had a few more Phoenix Downs, we could have used them offensively in a minute, because, as I mentioned in the previous parts, we actually have ghosts coming up. Undead, the first undead. There are a few that unfortunately have washed out into the sewers over the years. There's actually a really interesting rare game later that you have a similar situation. Oh, and by the way, I know I'm going to do separate videos for the bestiary, but I'm thinking for bosses, it might be cool if we, you know, actually talk about them. So, wait, but that's question mark, Flan. I guess they weren't even technically, they don't even have their own boss page. We'll find something else with a proper boss page in a minute. That was just like more of a mini encounter, I suppose. Right, so anyway, yeah, I guess we'll keep Balthier on a spear for now. That seems cool enough to me. And Fran can keep casting fire. That's not a problem. Yeah, swapping back to Blizzard might be kind of nice. So the last little bit of the sewers here now. There's a Dark Moat. That's what Amalia can throw around. And, yeah, we're kind of in an opposite area. You see, we were fighting at the southern sluiceway, and this is now almost like a mirror image. But if you look up here, ooh, we've actually been to the number 10 channel before. That was where we first came, ages ago. So, Gambit for Balthier. We can turn off the potion idea. Go back to 100% health. Like so. And he can start stealing from these new enemies. So now that we've got a 4-man team, few new creatures. This is a Garkamykera. It's a weird one that only really appears in 12. It's like a gargoyle. But in addition, we have a ghost. So where is it? The Ghost Bee. So the Ghost Bee, you can see, is weak to Holy. Oh, does Ash have a bangle equipped? She might. She seems to have Auto Libra, it looks like to me. That's pretty cool. But she didn't for the users. Maybe it's just got a good duration on there. So, yeah, it's weak to Holy as a ghost. You can steal something pretty good from it as well. Balthier is spamming steal here because we're not AoEing anymore, which is actually kind of bad. Did he steal from it already? Let's try and swap this over. All right, yeah, he had nothing to steal. So let's just focus down, I guess, the ghost. The ghost is the weak one. And in fact, we never gambited Vaughn's steal, did we? So that should be fine. He wouldn't be good against the ghost with the guns either right now, so this is fine. Everyone's a bit kind of messed up because of this blind everywhere. I mean, geez, this blind and all the eye drops we would need to deal with it is actually kind of tricky. I do want to get at least one kill on them. Right, so here's the trick. If they are undead, quite often what you can do is throw a potion at them to kill them. Ah, but we have triggered a dangerous animation. Can you see the ghost right now is glowing in this horrible way? Look behind it. There's another glowing thing appeared there. When ghosts get low on health in this game, they divide and spawn new ones. So you're really meant to kill them quick. Balthier is just not doing very well right now. Maybe what we do is we focus on this Garka Chimera. Oh, or maybe he wasn't dividing. Maybe he was just, you know, teleporting somewhere else. So instead, let's throw a potion at the ghost now that it's reappeared. Oh, no, it definitely did split. There's two of them. Yeah, yeah. So we throw a potion, and it does damage, see? And even better, if Balthier throws the potion, because he is better with potions, he will do even more damage. So those are kind of your two choices there. Go for holy damage, or heal them. And in fact, that's what Fran could do as well. She could cast Cure on the undead, and that would do a lot of good damage. So we'll just throw a couple more potions. We've got plenty in supply. I'm not quite sure. I've set up some weird gambits here to sort of demo them for you guys. And to be honest, I'm not sure it's that good. So there you go. Look, he can do 170 damage. And we get a glass jewel from killing it. That's what I was trying to steal. All right, now let's just go for regular attacks here. If we can. We should probably eye drop. So here, what I'll do is Amalia, instead of cure spamming, where? Hold on. Yeah, here's the items. Sorry. Instead of cure spamming, we'll put eye drops on it. We only have 4. I never stockpiled on these. I didn't think to. And then we're going to go with Ally Any. Now, Ally Any or Foe Any. There's a Foe Any as well. These are actually very clever gambits. They're not pure random. What this will do is it won't mean she just infinitely throws eye drops all the time. It will check if blind is up. I mentioned that very vaguely before, but it's only specific gambits that are smart like that. Well, the any ones are. So, yeah, really worthwhile doing. And to tell you the truth, I think we should just let Fran kill all these things with fire. There you go. She got oil, so if she chain casts one more, she's going to nuke it. She's slightly low on MP. There you go. Fire coming out again now. Double level up. That was a nasty fight, honestly. That was really, really challenging. And that is not the only one. That's just kind of what the enemies are like here now. So, you notice one of them managed to get slow on Balthier as well. Slow is a really nasty condition. It's difficult to remove. It keeps your party members really dragged down, increases the charge bar time. Remedies will get rid of it, but we only have one remedy right now, and I would rather hold on to that or sell it or something. So I'm going to just try and skip us up to a save crystal, if I can help it. And again, what we can do, so a silken shirt, that's good, that's mystic. So what we can do is we can hold flee, or we can toggle off their gambits, so that we don't go bombing in on stuff that's over there. Like, look at that. That Gigantode is asleep, so there's no need for us to attack it. Good, we get a free Phoenix down there as well. That feels really nice. There's no reason to attack that. The Garca Chimera will probably see us in a second, so we do want to watch out for that. Now, you see this broken staircase? This is where we got that first item. Do you remember I said this is a place where I'm tempted to use turbo? Do you remember that? That's there, guys. Look, that means Rabanasta, the way up, is just down there. Just jump down, everybody. Well, unfortunately, we can't jump down there. We're actually going to go in a completely different route. That was a nice little technique we had there, though, by the way. Separating that guy from the others. Because that place can be kind of messy. So we're kind of in a separate section now. Now, you see all these waters as well? Later in the game, we can actually learn to raise and lower the water level in here, which is possibly one of my favorite recurring things in a lot of video games. And that makes this whole place like more of a labyrinth. There's hidden stuff in here. Oh, wow. Balthier stole a demon eyeball from him. Nice. That's a rare still, I think. So we've got demon eyeballs. We've got glass jewels. There are guides online that will tell you, like, while you're in the sewer, steal X amount of this, make sure Y amount of this is dropped, so that as soon as you get back to a merchant, you can sell loot and the bazaar will update in the right way and all that kind of stuff. Particularly, there's a kind of gun ammo that you might like from the bazaar, which you can pay close attention to. But there you have it. That is kind of scary, to be honest. Well, no, we got heal. We get out. So, this big central area, I just want to draw your attention to the fact that this door is open. There's one door. All the other ones are closed. All of them. And we have no other option to get out. But if you look at the map... Oh, you can't see it on the map. But later, all of these will open, really. And you can kind of free roam around to a much greater extent. Now, this gate. What did I say to you guys last part? That there was a gate Varn was standing next to, and very soon we'd be on the other side of it. Remember that? Well, welcome to the other side. Only slight and that means that we're basically where we were fighting the 3 rats at the very beginning. We're back, guys. We're where we were fighting the rats. Only problem... Oh, by the way, there's all these switches here, but they're rusty. Appears to be a mechanism for operating the gates, but it's locked. There's a bunch of those. Only problem, there is a boss fight between here and there. So once again, let's just go for the boss, and let's see what happens. This is one of my favorite bosses in the game. This guy is amazing. Here we go. And we're going to fight a boss right where Varn was fighting the rats before. Right? This doesn't look right. Look, that's it. That's the exit. Just run, everybody. Run. Alright, so the boss at the end of the dungeon. This is the Firemane. He's basically like Ponyta or Rapidash. He's got a cool bestiary entry. Doesn't really exist in any other Final Fantasy, but in MMO, I think there's a boss with this name. On his spawn animation, I actually thought he was going to be a bomb, you know, from the other games. But no, he's a Firemane. So, first things first. If we just try and sprint up the stairs, you'll see that the gate's locked on the other side. Damn it, kites! Damn it! Where are you, kites? And you'll see that this boss actually teleports after us, which is pretty nasty. He's got a full health bar. Now, if I target him specifically, you'll see we can see his health is 7,000. So Varn wants to attack. Let's get in there. 7,000? But that's a lot of health to get through. And if we just look around the area, you know, you could go anywhere where the rats were running around. but you're going to have a pretty bad time. In fact, he's already killed all my guys, and he will teleport over, and he will knock Vaan out. In fact, this has gone way worse than I even wanted to demonstrate. Vaan's good, though. Look at this shield. It's really helping him. So we are going to have to prep. This boss has some special abilities as well that will basically nuke us all. And you might be wondering, seriously, how is that possible? He has very handily dealt with us. Well, what if I told you you can actually make it really easy? And it's from a special thing that Square put in the game, but kind of didn't tell players about, which is weird, but hey. So here's what it is. By the way, the one place the autosave system doesn't trigger is when you're entering a new area with a boss. So you got to be cautious about that. That's why there's this save crystal here. So first things first, let's quickly buy a couple of perks here, and anything that gives people health is what I'm interested in here. So 20 more health for Vaan. The Battle Law would have been pretty good, in all honesty. We can give him the Firefly if we want. We probably shouldn't have done that. We probably should have saved it. We could give Balthier a new Gambit slot, which I tend to really like getting the Gambit slots, but prices are a bit tight at the moment. So instead, let's give him 70 health here. You're going to see that Balthier is actually one of the healthiest members of the party. And we got that silken shirt from a chest a second ago, so we could let Fran learn that or another 70 health. I'm going to give her the 70 health. Now, there's this as well down here, Poison and Blind. So, then we're going to go to our Gambits. First thing to know is this fire we were using, that's going to heal this boss. He absorbs fire. He is weak to water, but we don't have any water spells. Sad, but they're not there. So, instead, what we're going to do is pick up Thunder for ourselves. And we'll hope that that is actually able to get some good damage in. Then over on Ash, she doesn't want her eye drops. She probably wants to use, well, handkerchief. So this boss will apply oil to us. We have only one handkerchief, not really that great. Let's have her go back to curing. There it is. So we will cure not any time. We'll cure when people get below half again. For Balthier, we're not going to worry about stealing from this boss. We want to have him... Well, actually, I guess we can. No, we'll have him potion when people are below half. And generally speaking, that should be a pretty good setup. The whole targeting Fran while blind thing isn't really necessary here. But yeah, we'll save again. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up by casting Slow on the boss and Blind on the boss from Vaan. So that way, it's seriously incapacitated with its regular attacks. And we're going to control Vaan as well, because realistically, what I want is it to attack him. So, opening up, we're going to go time, slow. And I guess Balthier can go for a quick steal at the start. That's fine. Now, here's the other trick about this fight. This boss has a spell, Fire, which will basically one-shot your party members. It does it, so there you go, we steal a handkerchief, that'll be useful. So it uses Fire, which will basically one-shot us. Its physical attacks aren't actually that bad, but Fire is really a serious problem. We don't even have that many Phoenix Downs. So what are we going to do about that if it just keeps casting Fire while we go through thousands of health? Well, here's the funny thing. It won't cast Fire on you if you stand in the water. So there's water, a pool of water on the left, a pool of water on the right. And the game with this boss is to stay in the pools. So here you can see she's casting fires. She's teleported over. So it will have this one queued up because I didn't move it too quickly. There you go, 300 damage. You see that? That's more than all of our health. If I'd, grinded a little bit more, we would have been fine. So Amalia's down. But now that we're in the water, it won't do that anymore. So we quickly Phoenix down. And Balthier can potion straight away. He already seems to have potion. Oh, there you go. Good. I might have just made him double cast that. So now the game is keep everyone in the water. Also, let's swap him back to his gun. You can swap stuff mid-fight. That's not a problem. And we're going to control him and have him move back. Now, every now and then, the Firemane will try to get you to dry land, which is exactly what it just did there. I've never seen it do that over on that staircase. That's nuts. So Amalia's dead. Now, he got oil on Amalia here, so she really is going to get hurt by any more fire damage, and he does have another fire damage spell. So what I'm going to do is potion with Balthier and handkerchief with Fran. So the handkerchief will clear oil and stop her getting one shot. So there we go. And then there's the potion. That's good. Now hopefully Vaughn gets in. We've got to pull Fran away because she is in a dodgy place. Come on, pull back. And you see, he's not really hurting us that much. Now here's the other thing about this boss. He takes like double damage, maybe more, while he is in the water. So even though he has 7,000 health, you'll see we're actually kind of nuking him here. We're doing a lot of damage. This is pretty good. So I want to make sure that everyone is as healthy as possible. In particular, I don't like Amalia being the target of these attacks. She's not as good at sustaining that as Vaughn would be, which is kind of why I wanted Vaughn to be the main guy. Now, here's the thing. Can you see Balthier here? Your allies will shift around and they'll accidentally walk themselves out of the water sometimes. So this fight's a little bit like herding cats. You want to just keep swapping back between Balthier and Fran. Make sure that, you know, they don't back up too much. They don't go to the wrong place. That's most of the fight. Now, below half health, this guy also has a special ability. It's called Bushfire. If he's in the water, he hardly ever uses Bushfire, but it will happen sometimes, so we need to keep an eye out for that. And that's going to be a massive fire damage nuke. Here it is. So, do you see how he teleported to the middle of the room? He's baited us over, and now he's cast Bushfire. So he will do that every now and then. He'll go to the middle on his own, and he'll nuke you. And so this is going to be a lot of damage, usually. In fact, we seem to have survived that really well. And it does poison. I think it's because we were still in the water. And it will poison your whole team as well. So Bushfire is really scary. The weaker that the Firemane gets, the heavier that the Bushfire damage becomes. So I do want to give a shout out to the black magic spell Silence. You can use Silence to stop the Firemane from casting fire on you without even needing the water. But Bushfire will always happen, and she spams it as well. So the water is still better. Good, Amalia dodged. Look, he's trying it again, so we pull back. Oh, he just teleported in, but he's not actually using Bushfire, so that's nice. So when he's really low on health, Bushfire is gonna be a serious threat to us. He's blinded and slowed, which is excellent. Oh, Balthier, don't you be a numpty. Get off of the stairs. There you go. So what I'm going to do to try and save myself is, you see how the boss is kind of low? We can go to everyone, and the Watara motes we stole from the previous fight. We're going to queue everyone up to nuke him with a giant spike of damage with all 4 Watara motes all at once. And we kill him. So that's how we do it. And yeah, Square set that up so that if you steal from the previous flans and you get that chest, you've got all the motes, which will allow you to, you know, just delete that guy. He is honestly so tanky. You take him in the water and throw the Watara motes, it's not a problem. Bushfire is really scary. It applies mass poison to the team. I think the idea is it's meant to be like burning or something.
Stand where you are.
Now's not the time.
Well, oh dear. Man, we're not even near the palace anymore. We're near Lowtown.
I hope they get what's coming. Whatever they get. Is that what the commotion last night was about?
They think me some common thief.
Better than a common assassin.
These people have done nothing. Release them.
What are you doing?
Don't interrupt me. I'm thinking.
He looked at us. Do you think he remembers us?
Wait!
Where'd
You
you
didn't
think
know
you
what he
were
was
going?
doing! You have to let him go! You have to!
Pinello! Sorry. That dinner will have to wait.
I told you.
So did Darlin.
That's enough.
Leave him alone!
Hold on to this for me, would you? Just until I bring Vaughn back.
On your feet. You, over here.
All right. Edgy, aren't we?
It's Balthier, my brother.
What does that philanderer think he's doing?
I was to kill Balthier, not those addle-pated Imperials.
Addle-pated. I love it. I honestly, addle-pated. Who says addle-pated? I love it so much, man. I wish I was the kind of person that used that sort of vocabulary. I mean, it would either be very cringy or very amazing. Addle-pated. So those guys, we saw them skulking around, remember, in like part 2? Looks like they were here. They knew that Balthier was here. So now we get a scene that I never understood as a kid.
I brought you some of those flowers you like. Galbana lilies. Remember? You always said how they smelled nice and how pretty they were. Remember? The king. Did you? Were you really a part of it? Even if you were, Captain Bosch must have tricked you into it.
Okay, I have to pause. That is one of the worst scenes in the game, and I really want you guys to understand it. When the game began, we saw Rex get shanked by the Imperials and fall over. Now, you might have interpreted that as Rex died. You'll notice I've avoided talking about this. You know, it's suddenly 2 years later and Vaughn's there and Rex isn't there, and they talk about Rex being gone. What actually happened is that Rex survived and went on to tell everyone what he saw. He saw Bosch and the dead king and everything that happened there and kind of spread that story. But he was in a hospital. And Vaughn used to visit him with those lilies. When I first played this game, I thought that white scene was just like a hallucination or something. I guess because it's like ethereal and weird, we just saw Rex disintegrate there. What that is telling us Vaughn used to visit Rex in hospital. In these 2 years in the middle, Rex did die, but only after the events of Nalbina Fortress. And Vaughn used to bring him Galbana lilies. That's why he found them so important, and very sadly, they got thrown on the floor outside the East Gate, if you remember. So, yeah, that is what that scene is showing. I thought it was a vision or something, but it's supposed to look like a hospital room, I guess. I really don't think it's implemented that well, but I do want to be clear that Rex survived, told everyone what he saw, and then died in hospital later, which is kind of realistic and grim in a way, I guess. But there you go. That is what the story is. And I guess this was his ring. Some of you guys will think that all my commentary there is unnecessary, like it's obvious. I don't know. I really don't think it was obvious. I think this scene is too abstract, and it's kind of weirdly inserted into the middle of the game here. It's an odd one.
You're awake.
Where are we?
Prison, where else? More a dungeon, but it's really all the same. Relax, it's just a corpse. Jump at every little thing down here and you'll wear yourself out. It's not even a proper dungeon. They just sealed off the bottom level of the fortress.
I love how blasé he is about all this.
Take a look around. We're not the first they've thrown down here.
Where's Fran?
She's off trying to find us a way out. Remember what curiosity killed? Just a friendly word of advice. This is all the water we've got. I'd save your strength if I were you.
You can't control me. I'm the hero, bitch. So we're back at Nalbina, believe it or not. So is this where Rex was storming and stuff? It's just years later now. No one's here, so they just sealed it apart. And yeah, we are incarcerated. Pretty sad. This is a really cool part of the game. I love the sort of decaying corpse down there of a bunger. Very sad looking. And I love the way that when he stood on it, it kind of like moved a bit. Felt a bit squishy. Hey, Balthier. Looks as though our belongings were carted off by the Imperials. Ah, perhaps they brought our things up to our rooms. How kind. No sense striding about at a time like this. Save your strength and stay out of trouble. So, what's cool about this? Check it out. We're on our own. Balthier's not going to wander around with us. Fran's missing. Check out our equipment. Oh dear, we have nothing, guys. It's all gone. Everything. And remember what I showed you before? That spells were actually inventory? Oh, well, they're still here, I guess. Oh, yeah, we can still cast our spells. What am I talking about? What was there was something else I wanted to explain. What ability was I thought that we lost? Well, anyway, we've lost everything, guys. We really have. And worst of all, look at our key items. We still have our clan primer and our writ of transit and our crescent stone. But where's the goddess's magicite? We don't actually have the treasure that we spent all that time trying to get. The, like, weird mystery thing that glowed at one point. What the heck? So it's all been for nothing. And in fact, we're going to have to learn to fight with our fists now. I love this. I love prison sections in games. I'm a big fan. So, number 691. No, new arrival. Welcome to the famed Nalbina dungeons, boy. We're all equal here. Stripped of everything but by our kind friend, the Empire. All we got is our bones, and those will be there soon enough. Haha. So, yeah, a lot of weak people. Now, you got all sorts in here. Crazies. But legitimate people, political prisoners. So there are treasures, but you get these items here. Knots of rust. So let's talk about a knot of rust real quick. It's basically a trash item, basically. But you can throw it at enemies to do damage. And you get them all over the dungeon. It's actually true that, supposedly, modders have said that there are some files in here suggesting Square had a bigger idea for this whole section of the game. But a lot of it ended up not getting implemented. So I wonder if the point was, you know, you'd collect knots of rust and you'd throw them and you'd fight with your bare hands and the knots of rust or something. But you can still collect them. People who play the International Zodiac Job System editions and forwards are very familiar with knots of rust because most chests in the game can actually drop them under a certain circumstance, which I'll explain again in a couple of parts. But yeah, so pretty scary stuff. I will collect whatever I can. Number 395, escape. There's plenty of folks down here wanting to do that. Never heard of anyone succeeding, though. What'd you do to get in here, boy? You don't look none too bright. Throw a stone at some Imperial or something. We're not really that bright, either. They don't need a reason, them Imperials. Toss people in here when they feel like it. Criminals, free thinkers, bad singers. Keeping them from dying is a full-time business in here, but if you ain't alive, you'll never get out. Oh, God. You've heard about the lower levels? Sounds like there's all manner of vile nasties lurking down there. When it gets dark, they get to moving around. I'd stay out of there if I were you. When night comes, you hear the voices. Like demons weeping in the deep. Demons weeping in the deep! My God. I'm salivating. That sound, it's like something from the pits of hell, or worse. How creepy. I'm scared, I'll admit it. I'm scared. Yeah, a lot of these guys update a second time. Call it what you will, we're an occupied state. What the Empire wants ain't shared prosperity or self-rule. It's a herd of Nanas to milk. So Nanas are like a little creature in Ivalice that we'll meet later. You know, they're kind of like cockatrices, but we haven't seen any yet. It feels very authentic that she talks about Nanas there. She? He? I can never quite tell. I think that's a woman, right? I always heard that Nalbina Fortress was impenetrable. I just never thought it worked both ways. Nice little touch. These guys are so fascinating to talk to. More weeping, sad people. The ill. And yeah, we shouldn't really be running around, but hey. Yeah, you can get a little bit of gil in here as well, I suppose. I like the idea that you'd have to scrounge for gil so that you can buy, like, a shiv or something and, you know, trade around. Or maybe we're not trading with gil anymore. Maybe we're trading with, you know, cigarettes or something. The man you came here with had a familiar look to him. Might be I saw him somewhere before? Might be a wanted man? In fact, I think that's it. You were a bandit. No, a sky pirate he was. Seems to remember a hefty sum on his head. So wait, what does this even mean he's a sky pirate? Does he have an airship? He seems reasonably well funded. I mean, that motorbike was cool. Nah, fresh blood. If you want to make it out of this place in one piece, you'll do whatever Daguza tells you to. You got that? Daguza, huh? You got the face of one looking to start something. Start all you want, but I guarantee you won't much like the end. Yeah, I think we'll probably get 2 bits of dialogue with the loop. And, you Dalmascan boy? I once fought at this fortress to save the king of Dalmasca. It's true. Seems an age ago now, down here. Has he just been in jail ever since? Listen, boy, no matter how hard it gets, don't forget your pride in Dalmasca and your hatred of the Empire. They're all we got. Look at these people. These people never gave up the fight, and look at what it got them. Also, check out this guy. Slurping up this nasty water that's vaguely dripping in from that pipe over there. Oh, water. Dude, why bother giving us this brackish swill? A man can't drink this chalky, brackish water. Believe me, as a man in the south of England, I'm more than familiar with that. Tell me, boy, you still have hope? Of course! Yeah, good, good. Man can't live without hope. Here's another bit of hope. The Empire is fated to fall, you know. Not too long from now. Should be any day. Oh, I love that dialogue, because it's like, he just seems pathetic. Like, do you really believe him? The Empire can thrash about all at once. There's no escaping fate. Like, you finally hear someone say what you want to heard said, but it's not a person in a position of power. So it corrupts the thing. Do you know what I mean? My friend and I were just going to the cathedral to pray for Lady Ash and Lord Rustler when some Imperials arrested us. Said we were part of some royalist movement. Can you believe that? They had no proof at all, and my friend, he... Oh, man. I mean, he's breathing. He just looks wounded. Another knot of rust here. And one final NPC. Room back there's the corpse pile. That's where they'll throw me when I pass on. You too. Oh, he's lost all hope. I wonder why they say imprisoned for life when it's death we're waiting for. Oh, it's so grim. Man, I want to go back to the happy wedding, guys. So, we have to fight our way out. We have absolutely no skills. Or gear, I should say. And it's not going to be easy. And we've lost the main item. I'll see you guys for our adventures in the Nalbina dungeons next time. Back to Takeshi's castle for me, I think. A bit happier. Adult-pated. I love it.